You don't get to buy my silence. I slammed the heavy ceramic bowl onto the wooden counter. Hot broth splatters, narrowly missing the immaculate cuffs of his expensive tailored suit. You either stand with me or you walk out that door right now. His dark eyes lock onto mine. The silence in the diner is deafening. He doesn't flinch. He just stares at me like I am the only thing keeping him breathing. If you love intense, slow-burn Afro-Korean romance that keeps you on the edge of your seat, hit that subscribe button, like this video, and turn on notifications. Welcome back to Afro-Korean Stories by Kay. Now let's get right into the story. My name is Joan. My Aunt Vivian built this Prasitki diner from nothing, turning a forgotten Busan alleyway into a warm sanctuary. When she passed away, I left Atlanta to keep her legacy alive. It is a grueling, exhausting life, but it is mine. I protect this place fiercely. The bell above the door chimes loudly. 3 men storm in. The air in the diner instantly drops 10 degrees. 2 of them are massive, built like brick walls. The man in the middle, Kang-min, is devastatingly handsome, but his posture radiates a cold, suffocating exhaustion. "Clear the room," the older handler, Mr. Choi, barks. His voice easily cuts through the soft R&B playing on my speakers. The chairman requires complete privacy. Now, my 4 regular customers freeze in absolute fear, their spoons hovering over their bowls. I slowly wipe my hands on my apron. My heart hammers violently against my ribs, but my grandmother always taught me that true power never needs to shout. "We don't clear the room for anyone," I say, keeping my voice deadly calm. "Grab a seat or grab the door handle on your way out." Choi steps up to my counter. His face twists in absolute disgust. "You don't know who you are dealing with. Close the diner, or I will ensure it gets permanently shut down." "I know you're interrupting my dinner service." I step closer to the counter, leaning in. I refuse to break eye contact. The silence stretches between us, heavy and dangerous. The tension is so thick it feels like a physical weight pressing against my chest. Suddenly, a large hand clamps down heavily on Choi's shoulder. "Enough." It is Kang-min. His voice is a low, commanding rumble that sends a sudden, unexpected shiver straight down my spine. Choi looks completely shocked. "But sir, this place is filthy." I said, "Enough, Choi. Wait outside." Kang-min's tone leaves zero room for debate. Choi glares at me with pure venom, then storms out into the rainy street, taking the muscle with him. Kang-min slowly takes a seat at the darkest corner booth. He loosens his silk tie, his sharp features softening just a fraction. "One sundubu jjigae, please." I stare at him, completely thrown off balance. The rumored ruthless heir to the biggest conglomerate in the city just banished his own attack dogs for a bowl of tofu stew? "Coming right up," I say. As I turn to the kitchen, my red ledger catches my eye. Underneath it is a freshly slipped envelope. Pull it out. It has Kang-min's corporate logo on it. Inside is a notice of immediate eviction. He just ordered my stew while his men secretly planted a notice to destroy my livelihood. I stare at the hostile eviction notice, my hands shaking with pure, unadulterated rage. I march straight out from behind the counter and throw the crumpled paper onto Kang-min's table. It lands right next to his water glass. "What is this?" I demand, my voice shaking with anger. "You play the polite customer to my face while your lapdog destroys my aunt's legacy behind my back?" Kang-min looks down at the paper. His expression remains completely unreadable, a mask of cold marble. But I notice his jaw clenched tightly. "Sit down, Joan," he says quietly. "Don't tell me to sit." Snap. My aunt built this place. It is not for sale, and it is definitely not going to be bulldozed for your new high-rise project. He finally looks up at me. The sheer, crushing exhaustion in his dark eyes catches me completely off guard. "I didn't authorize this. Do you expect me to believe that?" "I am the chairman in name only," he says, his voice dropping to a harsh whisper. "My board of directors, including Choi, makes the acquisitions." They want this entire block. I came here tonight to see the place that was causing them so much trouble. I cross my arms, refusing to let my guard down. And what did you find? A woman who doesn't flinch when cornered, he replies, his gaze piercing right through me. That is a very rare trait in my world. My anger falters, replaced by a confusing, heavy curiosity. If you didn't authorize it, then stop it. It isn't that simple. If I cancel the acquisition, Choi will find a way to bleed you dry through endless health inspections and legal fees. He will ruin you. So you came here to tell me to give up? No. Kang-min leans forward, his presence completely overwhelming the small booth. I came here to warn you. And I came because I haven't eaten a real meal in 3 days. I look at his exhausted face. Against my better judgment, my heart aches for him. He is a king trapped in a gilded cage. I walk back to the kitchen and bring out a steaming bowl of sundubu jjigae. I place it in front of him. He takes a bite, and for a split second, the cold billionaire vanishes. He just looks like a tired man finding a brief moment of peace. For the next 2 weeks, Kang-min comes in every single night. Alone. We don't speak much. I just watch him, documenting his visits in my red ledger. I notice the way his shoulders drop when he enters. I notice the dark circles under his eyes fading. I am slowly letting him into my world. Then, on a rainy Tuesday, the diner door violently flies open. It is Choi, and this time he brought a team of city inspectors. But the real twist. Kang-min doesn't defend me. He stands up, buttons his expensive suit jacket, and walks right out the door without looking back. My heart shatters into a million pieces as Kang-min walks out. The cold air from the open door bites at my skin. I am completely alone. Choi smiles, a sinister, victorious sneer spreading across his face. Shut it down, he orders the inspectors. Check every pipe, every vent. Find a violation. They tear through my aunt's kitchen. I stand frozen, my fists clenched so hard my nails dig painfully into my palms. The betrayal burns deep in my chest. I thought Kang-min and I had an unspoken understanding. I thought he truly saw me. But he just abandoned me the very moment his handler showed up. You have a minor grease buildup in the secondary vent, the lead inspector says, handing me a red clipboard. We are suspending your license for 30 days. You must vacate the premises immediately. 30 days. That is an absolute death sentence for a small diner. I will lose everything. I grab my red ledger, fighting back tears of anger, and walk out into the pouring rain. I do not go home. I march straight to the towering glass headquarters of Kang-min's company. I bypass the front security desk, using the VIP elevator code I saw Kang-min punch into his phone weeks ago. I burst into his top-floor office. Kang-min is standing by the massive floor-to-ceiling window, looking out over the glowing city. He turns around, his eyes widening in pure shock. You don't get to buy my silence. I yell, slamming my red ledger onto his pristine glass desk. You either stand with me, or you admit you are just a coward playing dress-up as a chairman. Kang-min quickly steps towards me. Joan, you shouldn't be here. Why did you leave? Why did you let them shut me down? My voice finally cracks under the emotional weight. He closes the distance between us. The air crackles with intense, overwhelming electricity. Because if I had defended you in front of Choi, he would have realized you are my weakness. He wouldn't have just shut down the diner. He would have hurt you. Freeze. My breath catches completely in my throat. What? I walked out so I could do this, he says, pulling a thick legal folder from his desk drawer. He throws it onto the glass. These are Choi's embezzled accounts. I just fired him and handed the evidence to the federal prosecutors. The board is dismantled. My mind races frantically, trying to process his words. You took down your own company. I took down the rot inside it, he whispers, looking deeply into my eyes. I couldn't let them take the only place in this city where I feel like I can actually breathe. The only place where someone looks at me and sees a person, not a bank account. The plot twist hits me like a physical blow. He didn't abandon me. He sacrificed his own empire to protect me. Tears prick my eyes, but I absolutely refuse to let them fall. The heavy, suffocating weight I have carried since my aunt died suddenly vanishes into the thin air. You risked everything, I whisper, my voice barely audible over the sound of the rain hitting the glass windows. I protected what matters, Kang-min replies. He takes a step closer. The distance between us completely evaporates. I can feel the intense heat radiating from him. We are standing so close I can count his eyelashes. All the unspoken tension, the quiet observations, the late nights at the diner. It all crashes over us at once. Your diner is safe, Joan. The suspension has already been lifted by the mayor's office. You can open tomorrow. I look up at him, my heart pounding a frantic rhythm in my chest. And what about you? What happens to you now? I rebuild, he says simply. But this time strictly on my own terms. Kang-min takes a slow step back, creating a sliver of space between us. Then, in the middle of his luxurious office, this powerful, untouchable billionaire does something that completely stops my heart. He gives me a deep, traditional bow. It is not a polite greeting. It is an act of profound apology, absolute respect, and quiet submission. He is acknowledging my strength, my endurance, and the sanctuary I gave him. I bow my head in return, a silent promise that we are finally equals. Later that night, I am back in the diner, wiping down the counters. The closed sign is flipped, but the door chimes anyway. Kang-min walks in. No expensive suits. No handlers. Just a tired man in a simple black sweater. He sits at the counter, placing a receipt on the wood. I believe I still owe you for that last bowl of stew. I smile, sliding his change across the counter. As I pull my hand back, his fingers reach out and gently brush against mine. A jolt of pure electricity shoots straight up my arm. He doesn't pull away. He looks into my eyes and for the first time he truly smiles. But as his phone lights up on the counter, I catch a glimpse of the caller ID before he quickly flips it over. It is my Aunt Vivian's lawyer. Why is his personal attorney calling my aunt's lawyer at midnight? The diner might be safe, but our story is far from over. Thank you for listening to Afro-Korean Stories by Kay. If this episode had your heart racing, you absolutely cannot miss what happens next. Smash that like button, subscribe, and leave a comment down below guessing what Kang-min is hiding about Aunt Vivian. See you in the next video.